Hey, what's up? It's me, Teacher Jeremy, and today I'm going to tell you about something really fantastic. I'm going to tell you about how to have a great life as a full-time online ESL English teacher. I'm going to tell you how to have a great life, a wonderful lifestyle, and some of the many benefits, right? And I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. Now, 15 years ago, you could have gotten really great pay in places like South Korea. And actually, that's where I started my overseas ESL teaching career. I started in South Korea. And this was maybe about 10 years ago. And of course, when I got there, so many people said, oh, you should have been here 10 years ago, right? So, in other words, yeah, 10 years before I got there, you could have gotten really good pay. So that's 20 years ago, all right? Yeah, you can get great pay as an in the classroom teacher in countries like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, all right? You can go to Hong Kong. It's really great pay. But you got to think about the cost of living and what's going to happen to your lifestyle when you live in the Middle East or when you live in a place like Hong Kong. All right, you need to think about all of the considerations and all of the factors. What will your lifestyle be like? And what will the cost of living be like? All right. Now, if you are a full-time online English teacher, you can live anywhere in the world that you want to live. So you can have exactly the lifestyle that you want to have. So it's basically like being a millionaire. You can have the lifestyle of a millionaire. It's like you're living like a rich person without having much money. Of course you can't make a lot of money as an ESL teacher. But I'm telling you, you can make good money, and more importantly, you can save really good money as a full-time online ESL or EFL, English as a second language, English as a foreign language, ESL, EFL, whatever. Online English teacher, right? So let's just have a look. Let me just show you something. Let's just pan a little bit to the right so you can see the view from my balcony. All right, can you see the view from my balcony? Isn't that beautiful? So I have this view every day. I wake up to this view. When it gets dark, I can see the city lights. It's really beautiful. And I got lucky. I found a really good job in Malaysia. And I found that job on Dave's ESL Cafe. We all know Dave's ESL Cafe. I can't remember the number of times that I've gone to Dave's ESL Cafe online looking for a physical, a physical teaching job in a country, in a school, in a classroom, right? I must have done it hundreds of times. I must have gone to Dave's ESL Cafe, all right? So I did luck out and get a really good job in Malaysia. And I was part of the program, the TEL Mentor program, all right? And that was a really special program. That program no longer exists. But for a time, I also had a view of the ocean. I lived close to the ocean in Malaysia on the East Coast, so I was able to get pretty good at surfing. And I would surf by myself a lot of the time. As you can see, I'm a surfer. So, if you're a surfer, you have the lifestyle of a surfer, and you basically need to live close to the ocean all of your life, right? And that's me. So I gotta live close to the ocean, right? And as a full-time online English teacher, I can live at a good surf spot. I can live at many different great surf spots, right? Near the ocean, right? Like I'm doing now, like I've been doing for the past 7 or 8 years of my life, right? And you can do it too, all right? Now I know if I was a teacher in the United States, working in the physical classroom, right? I would have a boss. I would have a lot of lesson planning to do, test making, test grading. I'd have behavioral issues. I'd have to deal with parents, administration, gossip, backstabbing. Maybe there's some girl that is trying to cause some drama, and maybe she could get me fired. I could lose my tenure. I could lose my job. There's so many ways to lose your job as a teacher in an actual school in the United States, and you gotta do all kinds of paperwork and stuff. You gotta do continuing education and all this stuff. Yeah, it's cool because you get a 3-month long vacation. That's one of the benefits, right? But for me, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. And like going back to when I was teaching in Malaysia, I was able to save about 1,000 USD a month, maybe, if I was lucky. But it was just so boring. No offense, when I lived there. So I spent that little bit of money that I had saved traveling. I was always traveling. Just because I was going crazy there, right? The lifestyle, the quality of life there, all right? You got to consider these things, right? If you're a teacher in the States, you got a high cost of living. You got to deal with a lot of hassle, a lot of stressful things, right? And the cost of living is quite high. So how much money are you going to be able to save every month, right? In the UAE, in the Middle East, yeah, you're gonna make a high salary, but how much of that money are you gonna spend on your rent? The UAE, for example, you can spend up to 2,000 USD a month for an apartment, for example. Hong Kong is a similar situation. Yeah, you can make big money, but you're gonna spend big money to live there. All right, your rent, your cost of living, and on top of that, the quality of air. It's a super overcrowded place, right? So here where we live here, the air is clean. We ride our bike everywhere. We have a super healthy, green, healthy lifestyle. It's a very relaxing, stress-free lifestyle. As an online English teacher, I am my own boss. I set my own schedule. Right? If I need time off, when I want the time off, it's very easy to do. If I feel burnt out on teaching, I can taper my schedule back a few days, right? So I don't have to have that burnt out feeling, right? You know what I'm talking about when you get that burnt out feeling. You can just take care of it, just like that, right? In Taiwan, you can do a 3-month visa run every 3 months. We live in Taiwan. So here, I was teaching in a cram school. It's the last school I will ever teach in my life. I finished teaching there at my very last school. That was 1 year ago. That was my last time to teach in an actual physical school. It was fun. Yeah, it's great teaching in the classroom. It's great. But there's a lot of hassle. You got to commute. You got to think about all the time that you waste. Time is money, right? Time is money. So all that time every day you spend commuting there and commuting back, that's time that you're not making money. All right? If you're an online teacher, you don't have to commute. All of the time that you spend teaching, you're straight up making money. You don't have to do any preparation. You don't have to do any test making or grading. You don't really have any behavioral issues. All right? Every now and then you'll have a problematic, troublesome student, but it's fun. It makes it interesting. So how do you become a full-time online English teacher? Well, there are so many English vendors or companies that you can teach online with. Most of these jobs are in the evening time, which will be China time, right? Most all of these companies cater to mainland China students. So it's from the China time point of view, right? So it's going to be evening time, peak hours, 6 to 9 p.m., and then weekends, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. So it's going to change your schedule up a little bit, which, in my opinion, is better, because I don't like to do things on Saturday and Sunday anyways, because that's, for example, in this town, where that is when all of the tourists come. It gets like super busy. The traffic is really bad on the weekend, so I'd rather just stay at home on the weekend anyway. So I prefer to actually work on the weekend. And then if I can have a weekday off, I like to take Friday off. So when I go out and do things in the town on Friday, it's not so busy, right? So that's another thing to consider. So you may have to work more on the weekends and then make your own weekend, right? So it's an out-of-the-box way of thinking. It's an out-of-the-box lifestyle, all right? So the company that I've been working for 2 years, and from what I know, from spending a lot of time online, checking out other companies, it's one of the best companies to work for and also one of the highest paying companies to work for, especially when you become a group class teacher, which I recommend you do as soon as possible. So the first company that I started working for and the one that I make the most money from is 51 Talk. 51 Talk. Now you can message me and I can give you a reference and a direct link to set up an interview with 51 Talk. Now for their group class teaching, group class, I will just abbreviate group class. They go by a different name. They go by Hawo American Academy. All right. All right. So they go by Hawo American Academy for the group class, but it's 51 Talk. All right, or Hawo American Academy. All right, so they got like a sub name. But I make basically, you know, when you factor in all the bonuses and the time that you don't commute, just the ballpark figure, I'm making basically 30 USD an hour. And that's tax free. Sometimes it's more than that. Sometimes it's closer to 35 USD an hour, tax free, stress free. There's no deductions, all right? I'm an American native citizen, all right? I have noticed some non-native English speakers with these higher paying jobs. So it is possible, even if you're a non-native speaker, but they do actively seek native speakers of English, not necessarily only from America. There are other native English speaking countries out there, right? So 30 USD an hour and up, tax free, no deductions, all right? Number 2. So 51 Talk is for evenings. You can get afternoon hours and weekend hours. It's all day long on Saturday and Sunday, right? Personally, I take Friday and Saturday off because I do well enough Monday through Thursday, and on Sunday that I don't really need to work Friday and Saturday. That's kind of like my weekend. Now, I just started working about 4 months ago for the morning shift online English teaching job. And the name of this company, I'm going to write it in red, is Since When. All right. I can also send you a direct link as a reference for an interview for this company as well, Since When. And again, this is $30 USD an hour, tax free and up. You start out actually at 30. With 51 Talk, I'm already at the top of the pay scale, but with Since When, you start out at a really high pay rate, and then you can still climb up a few notches and get even higher pay. Since When. Now, this job is also online, and it's morning time. It's morning time, right? And this job is a little bit different than 51 Talk because you're teaching a big class of maybe 15 to 30 or more students, right? It's kindergarten. So you got to stand up and you do a lot of dancing and singing. You need props, you need pictures. But once you get it all sorted out, it's really easy. You don't have to do a lot of lesson planning once you get it all figured out and once you get tuned into it, right? It's the same with 51 Talk. In the beginning, it takes a little time to get, you know, all of your technical things sorted out and how you want to go about teaching your classes. But, you know, after a few months, it's really easy, and you don't have to spend really much time at all in preparing for classes. And that's where I'm at now with both of these jobs. And so how much money exactly am I able to save every month? Well, right now I can easily save more than 2,000 USD a month. So I'm bankrolling. Sometimes I'm saving 2,500, right? Sometimes I'm saving close to 3,000 a month. Sometimes he's closer to more like 2,000 a month. So anywhere between 2,000 and 3,000 a month, I'm bankrolling that every month, tax-free, from being a full-time online English teacher. So how much money is that a year? That's between 24 to 30,000 a year that I'm saving in my bank. All right, bank rolling from teaching online full-time. And the reason that I'm able to do that is because I'm living in a place with a low cost of living, such as Taiwan, right? Very low cost of living in Taiwan. For example, this ocean view apartment, it's only 350 USD a month, all right? And that's including the management fee. So yeah, I'm paying 350 a month for a really nice ocean view apartment, all right? With a security guard, all right, and cameras and a beautiful lobby. So I really am living like a millionaire and like a rich person as an online English teacher, and I'm able to save a lot of money. I can easily relocate to anywhere in the world that I want to live, right? And I can continue doing these online jobs, no problem, all right? Now, yeah, so you can luck out. Maybe after months and months of looking for jobs on Dave's ESL Cafe or some other website and applying for jobs, you might luck out and get a good paying job. But I'm telling you, over the years, over the past couple of decades, the salary has gone down and down and down and down. Even in places like the Middle East, in Saudi and UAE, the salary is going down. It's not what it used to be. Furthermore, every English job in every country has different requirements. And it will make your head spin. It will drive you crazy. Oh, I need this requirement. Oh, I need this certificate. Oh, I got to get this. Oh, I got to get that. Right? So you will basically feel like, oh, I got to go back to school, right? I got to get my master's. I got to get my doctorate. I got to get this certificate, that certificate. You're just going to drive yourself crazy. It's a money-making corporate industry, right? Don't be a sucker. Don't feel like you've got to get this or get that. All you got to do is just become an online English teacher. And the only requirement for that, basically, is that you have teaching experience and that you're a native English speaker. And I know of online teachers, they don't even have really any teaching experience. And some of them are not even native English speakers. And somehow they become amazing online English teachers, right? So you got to consider these things. I have a lot of colleagues that I've met along the way. They're like working on their doctorate, they're working on their masters, they're getting this certificate, getting that certificate. And I have a lot of these things. I've got a master's in education, I've got certificates. But in the end, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you enjoy what you're doing. And I enjoy being an online English teacher so much. I mean, it's fun. I always have new students, and my regular students are fantastic. It never gets old. It never gets boring. You just occasionally get the burnt out feeling, and that's normal. I mean, every teacher will experience that. So just take a little time off. It's easy. Let's see, did I cover it? I think I've covered all of the things. Yeah, be your own boss, right? Stress-free, worry-free. If you're a surfer like I am, you can go surfing every morning. It's not like an 8 to 5 job, right? You can make your own schedule. So you can spread your classes out so that you can go surfing when the swell is optimal, right? So it's perfect for a surfer. Yeah, I think I've covered everything. If you have any questions, please ask me in the comments. I can make another video. I can address you straight up. So I hope this is helpful for you. Please like and subscribe and ask me anything that you would like to know. 51 Talk, since when? I can give you the direct link and a referral for these jobs. All right? Good stuff.